So I don't know why it's specifically Amazon Fire Sticks, but this product seems to have somewhat of a problem when it comes to piracy. I feel like I've just heard of it a lot, people using that product specifically to jailbreak it and to pirate stuff. Now, of course, I do not support piracy. You should not do it. And when you look at this new research, it does actually sound like these Fire Sticks, they have a huge piracy problem. Now, you see, research has been done in the past to see the cost of piracy with video games or like specific stuff like that. But overall with streaming, and specifically for Amazon Fire Sticks, this may be the first time that research has come out on this. Now this research is by Ender's Analysis. I will link it in the description, but basically this is called Video Piracy. Big Tech is clearly unwilling to address the problem. This was released 2 days ago. It's like a whole scholarly article. Now I do not have access to it, but here is the main stuff. Kind of the synopsis for the free people, the people that aren't going to pirate the article, I guess, or buy it themselves. And anyway, the part that stuck out to me from this summary is what I highlighted. They say, quote, a complete overhaul of the technology architecture, as well as licensing and support model is needed. So they are claiming that a complete rework needs to be done to prevent piracy going forward. That's definitely a big claim. I certainly don't know if that is going to happen going forward. But anyway, thankfully, BBC, they covered this whole article. I guess they did buy it. Hopefully they didn't pirate it. That would be a little ironic. So anyway, they go over the article. Now, the whole article is not just about Amazon Fire Sticks. It is about streaming piracy in general. They say that piracy for streaming services these days for movies and shows is bad, but apparently it's even worse for live shows, like especially sports. And now this study was looking at the UK, and one part of the BBC article that it highlighted said that according to the data for the first quarter of this year provided to Enders by Sky, 59% of people in the United Kingdom who said they had watched pirated material in the last year while using a physical device said that they had used an Amazon Fire product. That's pretty big because I'm only assuming, I guess I'm not digging into it right now, but I'm assuming like Apple and Google, all those kind of big companies, they have got their own set of physical devices for streaming, I would assume. So why people are choosing Fire Sticks over them, I still don't know. But here is the big thing that was pulled from this article. It says, the Enders report says the Fire Stick enables, quote, billions of dollars in privacy overall. That really stuck out to me. This is not saying streaming piracy is stealing billions from big tech. It is specifying specifically piracy where people are using the Amazon Fire Stick. That by itself is apparently stealing billions. Now, given your attitude on the whole thing, maybe you're concerned, maybe you say this is a bad thing, or maybe you just say, screw it, who cares, it's big tech. That is for you to decide, not me. One part that I do want to show here that I thought was kind of funny, it says, many supporters, though, argue that lowering the cost of legally streaming sports would be the most effective way of minimizing such risks. Yeah, that's a crazy idea, right? Maybe not, charging, I don't know, whatever it is now, $20 a month for Netflix or Hulu or, anything like that. Maybe that would decrease piracy. Or, I know that there are just a ton of streaming services now. Back in the day, you just had like Netflix and Hulu. Nowadays, you've got like 30. Nobody wants to spend like $400 a month just for, their TV shows, maybe because they're into like 5 shows or even like 10 or 12 shows that are on 10 or 12 different streaming services. It just doesn't make sense. Obviously, these kind of things are going to, it's going to lead to an increase in piracy. That's just a fact. I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that's wrong. It just is what it is. But yes, according to this research and according to their summary, as I said, they are saying that a, quote, complete overhaul of the whole, media delivery system is needed to target this from big tech. What they are claiming is that big tech, for some reason, doesn't care enough about piracy. And they're kind of baffled as to why. And I think it's probably one of those things, I'm sure big tech kind of accounts for piracy when they are making projections of like their revenue. But I don't know, maybe it's just not as big of a deal to them after they've done their own research. Who really knows? At the end of the day, studies like this, I do find kind of funny because they'll use statistics like this, billions of dollars worth of stealing. And, people always bring this up, and it's an absolutely fair point that when they give these statistics, they're probably just, taking the numbers numbers when it comes to piracy, and they're putting that in a dollar amount. But obviously that does not take into consideration the fact that a lot of people who pirate, they might not even buy the product to begin with, even if it was completely unavailable illegally. So, I mean, who knows if the billions of dollars worth of a piracy statistic, is really accurate in that regard, but it still is interesting, with how much they've measured, that piracy, especially using Amazon Fire Sticks, is really in those high of numbers. I don't know if big tech is going to do something to target this going forward, or specifically if Amazon is going to do anything, but for now, piracy remains a pretty big thing, and apparently a lot of people are using Amazon Fire Stick products to do this.